Are you drinking bone broth every single day, thinking it's going to save your muscles and keep you strong as you age? I need to tell you something that might surprise you. While bone broth definitely has its place in a healthy diet, it's not the miracle muscle builder that everyone thinks it is. In fact, there are foods sitting right in your kitchen right now that are far more powerful for reversing muscle loss and keeping you strong well into your later years. Welcome back, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, because today we're going to talk about something that affects every single one of us as we get older. I'm talking about muscle loss, and more importantly, how to reverse it using the right foods that actually work. Let me start by saying this: after the age of 30, your body starts losing muscle mass. We're talking about 3 to 5% every single decade. Now, you might think that's just about looking less toned or having smaller arms, but it's so much more serious than that. Losing muscle means losing your strength, your ability to move freely, your independence, and honestly, your quality of life. It affects your metabolism, makes you more prone to falls and fractures, increases your risk of diseases like diabetes, and can leave you dependent on others for basic daily activities. But here's the good news: this doesn't have to happen to you. So let's talk about bone broth first. I'm not here to completely bash bone broth, because it does have benefits. It contains collagen and gelatin, which are great for your joints, your gut lining, and your skin. People love it, and I understand why. But here's what most people don't realize. Bone broth is actually quite low in the type of protein your muscles need to rebuild and stay strong. Yes, it has amino acids, but it's missing some of the essential ones that trigger muscle growth and maintenance. Think of bone broth like this. Imagine you're building a house, and bone broth gives you some of the materials, maybe the framework and some support beams, but it doesn't give you everything you need to actually complete the construction. It's helpful, but it's incomplete. Your muscles need complete proteins with all the essential amino acids, especially one called leucine, which is like the ignition switch for muscle building. Bone broth just doesn't have enough of it. Now let me explain what's actually happening in your body when you're losing muscle. Every single day, your body is breaking down old muscle tissue and building new muscle tissue. This happens constantly. When you're young, the building process is stronger than the breakdown process, so you maintain or even gain muscle easily. But as you age, especially if you're not eating the right foods, the breakdown starts winning. The scale tips in the wrong direction, and you start losing muscle bit by bit, year after year. Your muscles need the right raw materials to rebuild themselves. They need complete proteins that contain all 9 essential amino acids in the right amounts. Without these, your body simply cannot maintain your muscle mass, no matter how much bone broth you drink. So what should you be eating instead? Let me tell you about the first food that's absolutely incredible for preserving and building muscle: eggs. I'm talking about whole eggs, not just the whites. Eggs are one of the most perfect foods nature has given us. One egg contains about 6 grams of complete protein that your body can actually use almost entirely. But what makes eggs truly special is that the yolk, which so many people throw away, contains nutrients that work together with the protein. You've got vitamin D, healthy fats, choline, and B vitamins, all working to support your muscle function and metabolism. For years, people have been scared of egg yolks because of cholesterol, but that was a mistake. The fats and cholesterol in the yolk actually help your body use the protein better, and they're needed to make hormones like testosterone, which both men and women need for maintaining muscle. If you want to preserve your muscle, start eating 2 to 3 whole eggs every single day. Have them for breakfasts, scrambled with some vegetables, or hard-boiled as a snack. However you like them, just eat them whole. The second food that's phenomenal for your muscles is fatty fish. I'm talking about salmon, mackerel, sardines, and other fish that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. A serving of salmon gives you about 20 to 25 grams of high-quality complete protein, but it's the omega-3s that make it extra powerful. These healthy fats actually reduce inflammation in your body and help your muscles respond better to protein. As we age, our muscles become resistant to building. It's like they stop listening to the signals. Omega-3s help restore that sensitivity so your muscles can actually use the protein you're eating. Plus, fatty fish give you vitamin D, which is crucial for muscle strength. Studies show that people who are deficient in vitamin D have weaker muscles and lose muscle faster as they age. Try to eat fatty fish at least 3 times a week. Wild caught is better because it has more omega-3. And if fresh fish is too expensive, canned sardines and canned salmon are just as good and much more affordable. Just avoid frying them because high heat damages those beneficial fats. Now here's where things get really powerful. Grass-fed meat and organ meats are absolute game changers for muscle preservation. Grass-fed beef and lamb don't just give you complete protein. They also provide compounds like creatine, carnitine, taurine, and CoQ10, which directly support muscle energy and function. These are things you simply cannot get from plant foods in meaningful amounts. And organ meats, especially liver, are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Liver gives you high-quality protein, plus massive amounts of vitamin A, all the B vitamins, iron, zinc, and copper. Every single one of these nutrients supports your muscle metabolism, from building new muscle tissue to producing the energy your muscles need to work. Grass-fed meat also has a better balance of omega-3 to omega-6 fats compared to grain-fed meat, which means less inflammation. Try to eat 4 to 6 ounces of grass-fed meat 3 to 4 times a week, and include liver once or twice a week. If you can't stand the taste of liver, you can take it in supplement form or mix a small amount of ground liver into regular ground beef. You won't even taste it, but you'll get all those incredible nutrients. Another excellent option is Greek yogurt and fermented dairy products like kefir. Full-fat Greek yogurt has about 15 to 20 grams of protein per cup, and it's higher in leucine than regular yogurt, which means it's better at triggering muscle growth. But the benefits go beyond just protein. Fermented dairy provides probiotics that keep your gut healthy, and a healthy gut is essential for absorbing and using all the protein you're eating. The calcium in dairy also supports muscle contractions and keeps your bones strong. Always choose full-fat versions from grass-fed cows when possible. The fat helps you absorb vitamins and keeps you satisfied. Don't fall for the low-fat trap. Your body needs those healthy fats to function properly. Now, if you prefer plant-based eating, you can still preserve your muscles, but you need to be more strategic. The key is combining different plant proteins to create complete amino acid profile. Legumes like lentils, chickpeas, and black beans, combined with seeds like hemp, chia, and pumpkin seeds, give you all the essential amino acids your muscles need. Hemp seeds are actually a complete protein on their own, which makes them especially valuable. The challenge with plant proteins is that they're less bioavailable than animal proteins, meaning your body can't use them as efficiently. So, if you're eating plant-based, you need to eat about 1.5 times more protein than you would from animal sources. Make sure you're combining different protein sources in the same meal and soaking your legumes properly to improve digestion. Here's something critical that most people get completely wrong. It's not just about eating enough protein throughout the day. It's about how you distribute that protein across your meals. Research shows that eating 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal, 3 times a day, is much more effective for muscle preservation than eating all your protein in 1 or 2 big meals. This is because muscle protein synthesis has a limit. Once you've triggered the maximum response, eating more protein in that same meal won't build any additional muscle. You need to spread it out to keep that muscle building signal active throughout the day. Let me give you an example of what a day of eating for muscle preservation might look like. For breakfast, You could have 3 whole eggs scrambled with vegetables cooked in grass-fed butter. That's about 18 to 20 grams of protein with all the nutrients working together. For lunch, have a wild-caught salmon salad with olive oil dressing and lots of colorful vegetables. That's another 25 grams of complete protein, plus omega-3s. As a snack in the afternoon, enjoy full-fat Greek yogurt with some hemp seeds and berries. And for dinner, have grass-fed beef or lamb with roasted vegetables. This kind of eating pattern gives you roughly 90 to 120 grams of high-quality protein distributed evenly throughout the day, along with all the vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats your muscles need to thrive. And if you want to have a cup of bone broth between meals, go ahead. It's still beneficial for your gut and joints. Just don't rely on it as your main protein source. But I need to tell you that food is only part of the equation. You also need to actually use your muscles. If you don't stress your muscles regularly through resistance exercise, your body will think it doesn't need them anymore and will let them waste away no matter how much protein you eat. You don't need a fancy gym membership. Simple bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or lifting weights at home are enough to signal your body that it needs to keep your muscles strong. You also need adequate vitamin D, either from sun exposure or supplements if you live in a place without much sunshine. Make sure you're drinking enough water because your muscles are about 75% water, and dehydration reduces muscle protein synthesis. Get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night because that's when your body does most of its muscle repair and growth. And manage your stress because chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which breaks down muscle tissue. So where does this leave us? Bone broth is still a valuable food for supporting your overall health, especially your gut and joints. But if you're drinking it thinking it's going to preserve your muscles and keep you strong as you age, you're going to be disappointed. Your muscles need complete, high-quality proteins with all the essential amino acids, and they need them consistently throughout the day. Start building your meals around eggs, fatty fish, grass-fed meat, fermented dairy, and if you're plant-based, strategic combinations of legumes and seeds. Make sure you're getting at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal. Support this with resistance exercise, adequate vitamin D, good hydration, quality sleep, and stress management. The truth is that maintaining and even rebuilding muscle as you age is absolutely possible. It's not some pipe dream, it's real, and it happens when you give your body exactly what it needs. The strength, independence, and vitality that come from properly nourished muscles will change your life. You'll feel the difference in just a few weeks of eating this way. Your future self, the one who can still play with grandchildren, hike up mountains, carry groceries, and live independently, will thank you for making these changes today. Don't wait until you've already lost significant muscle mass. Start now and give your body the complete nutrition it's been craving. If you found this information helpful, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these protein-rich foods you're going to start eating more of. Until next time, remember that real food is real medicine, and your body has an incredible ability to heal and strengthen itself when you give it the right fuel.